Okay, so here at the top, they are talking about proving, and I said that we were going to skip that. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down because I do like question number 8, and we can go ahead and do that question based on what we knew or learned from the front side of our notes. And I think it's a good question because it can be a little bit tricky. And it uses function notation, which we've done on day 1, composition on day 2. And so it's a little bit of a good review. So it says if f of x is an even function, and I'm going to go box that in, and right above it, I'm going to write opposite ends or opposite inputs result in same, right? Even, same outputs. Okay. Next thing up, it says, and f of 3 equals 5, which means 3 is the input, 5 is the output. And therefore, because we know it's an even function, we could go ahead and do the opposite input. The opposite input of 3 would be -3, but it has the same output. So f of -3 would have the same output as f of 3, and so it would be equal to 5. Okay? And then they say, then what is the value of 4 f of 3 plus 2 f of -3? And so I'm going to box in a couple things that we know. Right here it says f of 3, and I'm going to cross it out because I already know what f of 3 is. Based on what they told me, f of 3 is equal to 5. And so what this becomes is that that 4 and that 5 are next to each other. So I'm going to take it as multiplication. And 4 times 5 is 20. And then I'm going to keep the plus sign. Okay? Over here, it says f of -3, and I'm going to cross that out. And because this is an even function, we know that opposite inputs have the same output. And so I'm going to go ahead and take that f of -3 and replace it with a 5. And so this reads 2 and 5, and there's multiplication in between it because they're smack dab next to each other. And 2 times 5 is 10. And we end up with 20 plus 10, which is 30. So kind of a different question. Kind of had to take a minute and break down what they gave you and think about it. So hopefully that helps. All right. I will see you guys on the next day of notes.